my esteemed friend, Professor T.G. Sitaram, Chairman All India Council for Technical Education, guest of honor this morning, Mr. Patil, the director of this beautiful center, Dr. Konur, Chairman of LIS Academy, and a person whom I say, I think he breathes library science all his life. I met him, I think, by chance 5 years ago, and since then I have found library science is his only passion, and making use of this forum for the students is his life's passion, and that is what I think brings all of us together here. My colleagues from the university, Professor Pankaj Jain, Vice President and the Chairman Library Committee, Dr. Dhananjay Tripathi, who looks after the library, other colleagues from the South Asian University, some other very eminent distinguished delegates, librarians from several good universities, people from corporate world, and from media, from publishing houses. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the whole philosophy of this summit is to collaborate. And collaboration, to my mind, does not always happen by algorithms and by designs. Many a times it happens by chance. And that probably is the finest collaborations in the world ever have been done. I told you about Professor Kono. When I met him, since then, I find he has done so much for library science, and all the time thinking how this can be used as a forum for student community. He has done a lot of initiatives which he'll talk at some leisure time, maybe in the conference or something, but that has really made a difference, particularly in the state of Karnataka and in the country as a whole. Mr. Patil met me by chance again just a month ago, and we felt, why not such a beautiful campus be a part of such activities and ensure that such structures do tell the whole world that such structures in this country we don't make only for beautiful monuments, we make them for a purpose. And that purpose is being spread through this collaboration. Professor Sitaram is a great friend for several years, but technical education has been a torchbearer of education in many other fields of education. As a matter of fact, many a times we feel that the technical education is probably being given a very positive vibe, sometimes at the cost of other forms of education, which is not good for the country. Because technical education should be used as a technology enabler for other forms of education also. And today we definitely feel that all the forms of education do need technology enablement. And I, being a student of computer science, always give an example. Various fonts in Microsoft Word came only and only because Steve Jobs, during his school days, during one summer, attended a calligraphy course. Because he had attended a calligraphy course, he felt, why should there be only one style of writing a letter? And that gave rise to so many fonts in Microsoft, which is important for all of us. So which form of education helps where, nobody knows. If you have an inquisitive mind, you probably can use any branch of knowledge in any other applied field, and I think that is the cocktail which we need to imbibe into our technical education, our education system as a whole. Professor Konur always looks for opportunities, and when I was assigned the responsibility of leading South Asian University, he immediately felt this is another opportunity for him to go beyond borders. When he read the motto of our university, Knowledge Without Borders, he says, I have done enough in India, now I have an opportunity to go without borders. And I, for one, definitely felt that this is very worthwhile, very appreciative concept. In the initial discussions, we were trying to limit it to SAR countries, but then we felt why? Once we are doing it in a technology era, why limit it to SAR countries only? Let's try to globalize. And so this is the first in the series, and I hope series continues for infinite number of years. And South Asian University will always be known as the first participant university for this series, and I'm so happy about it. My dear friends, libraries and universities could not be separated, should not be separated, should not be dealing from each other. They have a very strong linkage. I do remember when we were researchers, we couldn't do without libraries. Unfortunately, many a times today's researchers feel they can do without the libraries. I mean, this is, I'm a technology person, but I still feel this feeling that library is not so important today is a very killing feeling in the field of education and has to be taken care of by all of us. And not only that, this has killed the reading habit amongst the students to some extent, and that is, I think, even more pathetic than this. We learn many things from advanced countries, but sometimes we miss the essential parts of it. I remember one of my granddaughters when she was in class 5, one of the assignments was go to the library, pick a book of your choice. Pick a book of your choice and within a month, summarize that book in a few pages. Having been from the family and the sanskars, she picked up Ramayana in the class 5 in USA. She picked up Ramayana English version there. I read the whole Ramayana, and we were all surprised that within 3 weeks, in a weekend, because she also read that Ramayana's best manifestation is Ramcharitmanas, which is in the form of a poem. She made a poem out of the full Ramayana in 1 weekend in just 1 page. And it's a beautiful poem which symbolizes the whole Ramayana. Why I'm trying to say this is, this has come only and only because she was asked to read a book beyond the curriculum, which has nothing to do with this, with her curriculum, and every student was given a choice to pick up any book from the library of their choice, read it and summarize and comprehend it. Now that particular habit is, if I don't use the word killed, but definitely being diminished, and we have to revive it. System of public libraries was such a strong system in the country and in the whole world. World still has it, but public libraries in India has diminished quite a bit. Today I learned from Mr. Patil, they have a nice public library here also for all the students. And I've told him to publicize it at least to all Delhi institutions, maybe with a website or the list of the books, because these are something which we have to revive. Friends, for me, library has been a passion. Because as I told you, we could not have done research without the libraries. As a matter of fact, I still remember when I was researching at NIT Kurukshetra, at that time RIC, our library was not that rich. And I think I have traveled to IIT Delhi library maybe 50 times during my PhD just to visit the library and read some things there and summarize it there, because there was no other system, internet was not there at that time, so what do we do? That's the kind of learning and education which library provides. I also remember a very small incident in life when I was building the campus of IP University. we held a global competition in which 34 architects from all over the world, including 5 from outside India, had competed. And the jury was as great as it could be, including the famous architect Kanvinde, who designed IIT Kanpur. And when the jury got 34 entries, they were really impressed by the entries and they wanted some more details. Now, for architects to prepare more details means they need more money. I think for the first time in the history of India at least, we gave 1 lakh rupees each to the first 5 entries to develop further. I mean, to give 5 lakh rupees out of nothing from IP University was probably one of the, I hope audit did not know about it, so I was spared of that, but we paid that. And we knew we will select one of the 5, so 4 lakhs will go waste. 1 lakh will be, of course, adjusted with the one who would be given the work. But knowing fully well that the 4 lakhs will go waste, we did do that. And when the entries, 5 entries came, the jury, I think they knew what to do, but just out of courtesy to the Vice Chancellor, they left the final 2 to me, saying, sir, these are the 2 equally good. A has so many merits, B has so many merits, and so on and so forth, and you take the final call. I knew it was more of a respect to the Vice Chancellor's position rather than the judgment of the jury, but then you have to take a call. I said, are you sure if I pick up either of the 2, that will be the best library in the Delhi? They said, yes. Okay, then I said, then forget about everything else, just show me the 2 libraries. And I just saw the 2 libraries, and the library which I liked better, the design was picked up for IP University. And I still feel that's a wonderful decision which I had taken, because I strongly believe in the happening of library. I used to say library should become most happening place in the university. Therefore, its location, its ambience, its everything should be the great. And when I've come to South Asian University, which is already having a motto, knowledge without borders, so we go to all the country. And even today, the librarian in charge of our library is from Bangladesh, who is managing our library. That's a feeling by itself which gives you a lot of pride in the whole thing. And in today's age, when we people talk about having too much confidence on ChatGPT, students and all that, people feel instead of browsing so many books or even browsing the so many websites, it is best to ask ChatGPT. And I would just ask you a question. When we used to have open book exam, sometimes most of the teachers still don't believe in this country. But I feel open book exam is a very viable alternative method of examination. But if you give an open book examination to the student, the same book, do you get the same answer? No. So even open book exam does not get the same answer, but ChatGPT just looks at the knowledge which you have and tries to give an answer, and we foolishly start believing that answer to be the best answer. Now that is, I think, some habit which has to be killed from the youth. ChatGPT could be an alternative, one of the methods of getting information, but that information is the final information, is something which has to go away. And I definitely remember somebody put a very beautiful question to ChatGPT. It said, when in doubt, what to do? And ChatGPT replied, trust your instincts. So I think that is what we have to teach to our youth, and the only method to teach that will be more use of libraries, more use of reading habits for the teaching community to design our assignments in a way that you can't do without the library. As a matter of fact, if you make some case studies in the country between so-called good institutions and so-called not so good institutions, you will find libraries a discriminating feature. And the use of the library by the researchers and the students is a discriminating feature. We are going into the comfort zone to forget this discriminatory feature, but we have to revive that. And I'm grateful to Dr. Konos to make sure that we try to connect librarians all over the world, and the language diplomacy. Because of the South Asian University, we deal with diplomats all the time, and they talk about any diplomacy: tea diplomacy, drinks diplomacy, dinner diplomacy, closed door diplomacy, so on and so forth. So we thought, why not library diplomacy, which at least is a known positive factor. There is no negativity in library diplomacy even possible. So let's do some connection between various countries through librarians. I hope more and more librarians will be able to join this mega event in February. And I extremely like Dr. Kono's tagline: connect, collaborate, contribute. The 3C tagline for this event, which really says everything about the event. Through this forum, through you, we invite all the librarians and the persons connected with library science all over the world to join and make sure that we as an academic